There is another site that has the publishing feature already turned on, and it's a site called the Enterprise Wiki. Here's the simplest comparison. If you were to look at the publishing portal and think, starting point for internet sites, you should look at the Enterprise Wiki and think, starting point for a knowledge base. Now, you probably remember that we have basic wiki functionality in a normal team site. And the wiki functionality here is quite similar to what we've already been working with, but it does add a few features because the idea is that this site is larger scale. It's not just for one team, it's for your entire organization. So it adds simple things like a page rating and categorization. The idea being that you'll be creating much more content in this site. Now, the Enterprise Wiki is typically created as a top-level site in a new site collection because the idea is it can grow very large and site collections can be given their own database. So that's why you won't typically see it available as a sub-site, although it can be created as a sub-site for a publishing portal. Now, this Enterprise Wiki, as we can tell just from looking at it, is using v4.master as a master page. It's the standard SharePoint 2010 master page. And you can do all the same things on this site as in any publishing site. Make and use page layouts, work with master pages, use your own CSS, and so on. You can open it up in SharePoint Designer and work with it that way. Now, there's nothing wrong with using an Enterprise Wiki as a starting point for a branding project, but neither is there anything particularly supportive about it. Because even though the publishing feature is turned on for this site, it's not turned on primarily for a big branding change. It's more for content control and providing modified page layouts if necessary. Now, if you did open the site in SharePoint Designer and went to the page layouts section, you'd find a collection of page layouts. Having said that, if you're in the site itself and when you're, say, editing a page, you'll actually find that the page layouts available to you are more restricted. If I jump to the page section of the ribbon, in my page layout, I really don't have many options here. I have a basic page, which is an Enterprise Wiki page, what's called a basic project page, and a redirect page that just sends you somewhere else. And in essence, this page is intended to be quite simple. We have this one main area of content, and this is wiki content, so we can do things like the two opening square brackets to link to other pages on the site. Though we can use the rich editors up here on the toolbar to do things like insert pictures. We have these two new controls on this side, the rating control, that with large-scale sites with a lot of content can be useful for social filtering. And then we have this category section. Now, this can be driven by SharePoint's feature of managed metadata, meaning you can define company-wide categories and start to tag some of your content, but it's not something we're really going to cover in this course. Now, while the publishing feature is turned on, you might notice that making a change to a page on an Enterprise Wiki does not seem to suddenly jump up with that yellow bar saying that I'm checked out and editable. And that's because the approval process for changes is not enforced by default on an Enterprise Wiki the same way it is on a publishing portal. I can just make a change and save it. I don't have to publish it and I don't have to have it approved. Now, like all content control in the publishing feature, that is based on your library settings. And it's because in an Enterprise Wiki, at least right out of the box, if I were to look at the all site content here and look at my pages library, which is where the pages are stored, I can check the settings of this library and find that they're a little looser than they would be for a publishing portal. In my versioning settings on my pages library here, I can see that content approval is not required, which is why I don't have to go through it. That versioning is happening, but it's just major versions. That means we have versions, every change is saved, but every change is regarded as a live change. There are no draft versions here. And I don't even have to check a page out before I can edit it. So although the publishing feature is turned on for Enterprise Wikis, it's primarily for a little bit of content control and for providing those modified page layouts if necessary. Now, personally, I'm a fan of the Enterprise Wiki as a wiki. I don't tend to use this site as a branding project.